Vining's top 3 things you need to know.
Well, we always say it, we think the news cycle ends early in the evening, and that's not the case. And here's a story that shows that example. Representative Ilhan Omar was speaking at a town hall in Minnesota, slamming pretty much the work and talking about when a man in attendance apparently chemical with a foul landed on her. Omar insisted while using not so nice language against gentleman is. Omar insisted and was taken to the ground, handcuffed on what the liquid was. Now, 55-year-old, and he's been heavily medicated and impacted his spine, Parkinson's. He's got a lot of things going on. Or not thinking correctly, we don't see that happening very often.
Oh, it's not. Anthony James held in Hennepin County Jail on a. But before you in this case scenario, what am I hoping to achieve here? What's the goal? And we're saying it was county jail. Don't know when he's going to get out. Finishing her comments after getting sprayed with. Nothing positive was achieved. What were you doing? What was the thought process? I don't know where your head was, man.
Well, to figure out what that is all about. You with a foul smelling from a syringe. I need some on me. What was in the syringe?
AIDS. It was AIDS.
I don't know.
He shot her with AIDS?
No, I don't think that was
no
it.
idea what it was,
Yeah.
but it probably wasn't
urine.
good.
Well, somebody said it smelled like vinegar, so it could have been like a vinegary smell. I don't know. I mean, again, that might be harmless, but still, you don't do that activity.
No, you do not.
No. All right, a lawmaker in our state has filed legislation that will protect Alabamians from crypto scam artists that are trying to steal their money. House Bill 303, introduced by State Representative Russell Bedsole, aims to help people like this woman in Huntsville that lost more than $330,000 and a retired veteran, an enterprise that was scammed out of $250,000. Bedsole also serves as a captain with the Shelby County Sheriff's Department, so he would know a lot about these scams. His bill has the full support of the Alabama Securities Commission. Fraud complaints involving crypto ATM scams have doubled. The legislation would regulate cryptocurrency ATMs at convenience stores, and that's where some of the fraud is happening, and also limiting the number of transactions that you can do in a day, kind of like they do with regular ATMs.
You can't get more than $200 out of an ATM nowadays. They're very limited in terms of how much cash you can get your hands on, and they actually are not doing that because they don't want you to have cash, although pretty sure they don't want you to have cash. They're doing it because they're trying to protect you. Yeah. Because if someone's pulling a scam on you, or if you are, being held at gunpoint and someone's like, get the money out of the ATM, you can only get so much before the ATM goes, yeah, we're not giving you anymore. We're going to stop right there. And that makes it a little bit more difficult. So, unfortunately, these crypto ATMs, which I have never seen one, by the way, but then again, I'm not looking for them, they don't seem to have those limits. And consequently, people can go take $330,000 out in so-called cryptocurrency, or put $330,000 in, and it ends up going into the wrong account or goes to somebody else, or whatever the case may be. The people getting ripped off through this is astounding.
Sad. It's really
a
sad.
lot of people.
Yeah, and it breaks my heart when I hear about a veteran that's happened too.
It ain't good.
No, it is not. Well, it seems a little too cold to be thinking about the beach and swimming in our ocean down in the Gulf of America, but this kind of weather seems to be having that very effect on some folks that can't wait for spring break, because it'll be here before we know it. Police in Panama City Beach have picked up on some social media chatter about spring breakers planning for a quote-unquote takeover of their beaches, and police have responded to the chatter. They said there will be no takeovers in Bay County. Not our beach, not our roads, and not our community.
Not going to happen.
They further said that they will be fully staffed and fully prepared, and yes, they have plenty of jail space, is what they said. If you come to Panama City Beach looking to test the limits, understand this: you will lose that test. Now, 3 Alabama victims suffered non-life-threatening injuries from a shooting there last year. Many of the beaches along the Panhandle, Orange Beach, Gulf Shores have implemented stricter public safety measures due to the violence and some of the chaos that happens during spring break. And they really don't want that. Even Panama City Beach, who was like the last of the last, where everybody's like, well, we've been kicked out of Gulf Shores and now we can't go to Orange Beach and you can't have any alcohol on the beach and, there's a curfew. And they were going to Panama City Beach, but Panama City Beach is fed up with it now because it's crazy there. And they're like, you know what? Take your spring break someplace else because you're not going to be doing it here.
I've twice made the mistake of being somewhere where spring breakers descended on spring break. That was just my stupidity for not looking at the calendar. I don't care if I never do it again.
It happened to me one time as well with my son when he was young, and I swore I would never do it again. I was like, how did I miss this? How did I not know this?
Just
And
weren't
I
paying
missed
attention.
it. I
Yeah.
wasn't.
Daytona one time and Panama City the other time. And
You'll never do it again.
in Panama City, I basically stayed in the room all weekend. I was just like, you know what? I'm on this balcony. I've got plenty of comestibles here. I'd order a pizza. They'd be delivered. It was a great little weekend that got me the relaxation that I needed. Had I gone out and tried to drive on the
Through
roads,
that, yeah.
it would have just been
Well,
nothing but frustration.
The other thing, too, is that some of these spring break weeks are not all the same.
No.
They're staggered.
Yes.
Different colleges and whatnot have spring break at different times. So there's really about a 3 or 4 week window
Yes.
of the possibility of that going on. So
What you-
I can understand why you and I got caught up in it.
You got to understand, folks, up north, spring break comes much later than it does here. Much later. They generally try to put it, in spring for them.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
It's almost summer for us.
It is, when you get a really solid snowstorm the second or third week in April every year, spring break doesn't tend to come until the last week in April. And you go like, well, aren't we just a few weeks away from school ending?
Yeah.
Not up there. School ends in June up there. So that's why you have a bit of a difference. Mr. Bugs, MRBUGGS.com. Why do you need Mr. Bugs? If your pest control company hasn't been getting the job done, let's say they come out, they spray, they do a little squirt here, squirt there, here the squirt, there a squirt, everywhere. Anyway, a couple of weeks later, or even a couple of days later, you're like, there's still bugs. What's going on? Now you got to call them back. They come back, squirt. 2-3 days later, you're like, still bugs. Okay, you have the wrong pest control company. You need somebody better. I've had this experience. I know this experience. I've experienced this experience. It's time to call Mr. Bugs. 844-MRBU-GGS statewide. Locally, 941-6252. Mr. Bugs is going to take such good care of you, you will never even consider using another pest control company. And that is their goal. Their goal is to make sure that you are wildly satisfied, beyond satisfied, every single time you deal with Mr. Bugs. And they've certainly achieved that with me. They'll do it for you. Not just the pest control, termite bonding. They do small rodent control. And, of course, mosquito reduction in the fall and the spring, whatever that gets here. It's not here soon enough for me. Mr. Bugs, MRBUGGS.com, 844-MRBUGGS. Mr. Bugs, they know what bugs you. Elvis. On an unrelated note, the other Elvis. I watched the Netflix special, The Fall and Rise of Elvis Presley, having to do with the 68 comeback special. I would say, unless you are the diehardest of diehard Elvis fans, don't waste your time.
Skip it, huh?
Yeah.
Not good?
It's an hour and a half long, and they spent about 15 minutes on the 68 comeback special, which is what I really wanted to see. They spent the first hour and 15 minutes recapping Elvis's career up to that point. I'm like, I know about Elvis's career. That's why I'm watching this. There apparently is another special documentary about that I think is on Prime, and I'm going to go look that one up. Maybe that one will be better, but this one was a disappointment, to say the least.
Well, that's a shame. Sorry you wasted your time.
Me too.
Yeah, but thanks for letting us know so we don't waste ours.
That's my goal. Me and Debbie Schlissel.
You and Debbie, right?
Yeah, boy.
Here's something you may be thinking about this morning as maybe you're getting up and getting your day started. And that's that your home seems a little on the cold side. The heat's running, but you're like, why is it so cold in the house? It could be your windows. It could be that you have substandard windows or doors, and some of the heat from your home is escaping, and that cold air is finding its way in, and you've got a gas bill that's going to be super high. And nobody needs any of that in their life. But here's what you do. You pick up the phone and you talk to Brian and Becky Jackson right here in Birmingham, EcoView Windows and Doors, and get those windows replaced. Premium quality replacement windows and doors for your home to make sure it's sealed up nice and tight and you've got some beautiful new windows in your home. Now, you know, in the original construction, it can happen. They use some substandard type windows, and you kind of know it. The pane is super thin. Just the construction of it, is not very good. So if it's time to replace those, or, maybe you're doing a build out on the back of your home, maybe you need some sliding doors or awning windows or bay windows, the possibilities really are endless. It goes on and on about what you could do with your home. So if you have an idea, run it by Becky Jackson, 407-8161, and let her know what you want to do and talk to her about giving you a free quote. No problem with that. Call them today. Great organization. Again, locally owned and operated right here in Birmingham. Brian and Becky Jackson. EcoView Windows and Doors, 407-8161.
It is Dixon Devining here on Talk 99.5 and Talk995.com, and a strange phenomena has appeared in the media.
Mm-hmm.
As the mainstream media is talking about Alex Preddy, which, by the way, I don't have the vaguest notion about what took place there. I've watched what little video there is. There's not a lot of video. What I've seen is so
it's difficult to make out.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very difficult.
You can't tell what's going on there, and that's part of the problem. That's why we need a good, solid investigation on this. It would appear as though the man was disarmed. I said it would appear as though the man was disarmed before he was shot by two separate agents, one Border Patrol and one, I guess, ICE agent. And what was that all about? Why did we feel the need to shoot the man after we took his gun away? I don't know, but I'm hoping that an investigation will uncover this. There's a couple of things that I can point to, though, that I find very strange about this. Number one, the mainstream media felt the need to take essentially his nurse's ID. He is a nurse. He was a nurse.
At a veterans
hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Emergency room, right?
Yeah.
Emergency EMS.
ICU nurse.
ICU nurse,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. Intensive care unit at the VA. And they took the picture off of that, and they ran it through a Snapchat filter.
And he looks quite different
Yeah.
in the two photos.
Yeah, and if you ask, well, what is it that's different about him? Well, number one, they widened and shortened his face a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Had a very long, very thin face.
Now it's like fuller.
Yeah,
like
definitely fuller.
Okay,
like
let me
he's got
just say
bigger cheeks.
it's more normal shape.
That's a good way to put it. It is.
Because he does have
Yeah.
kind of a long
Yeah,
face
exactly.
from the top of his head to his chin. It's
Walked
like,
into a bar once, and the bartender said, "Hey, aren't you that nurse?" Anyway, and then his smile is a little weird in his actual photo.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to have broadened the smile a little bit and straightened that out.
His nose is different.
Yeah, his
Totally
nose.
different nose.
Look, here's the thing. I'm just going to say it. His nose is a long, big, hooked thing that they managed to, let's say, aquiline it a bit They brought it up. They widened it a touch. They got rid of the longness. They straightened out his eyebrows, and his eyes are a little more open in this picture. I don't know what the Snapchat filter is. Is it like Clooney? Is that what it is? You just go to the Clooney filter and you put that in there?
Could
But
be.
here's the question. Why did the
Why?
media feel the need to do this? And yesterday when I was doing show prep for today, I saw this story. Then I went and looked at a New York Post story about Freddie, and they were using this filtered picture of him. And I was like, so even the New York Post, this is the picture that they got.
Mhm.
And it
And
is
they probably hiked it from some media source that already had used that.
most likely.
And you say, why did they do that?
Why did they
the
feel
big
the need to
question
do
is,
this?
why did you do that? Why aren't you using his real picture?
Yeah, why not
what
use
he
the
looks
actual
like?
picture of what the guy really looks like instead of trying to make him look? I'll be quite honest with you. I'm just going to say it, and I know I'm speaking ill of the dead, and I'm sorry about that, but I got to call it as I see it. His actual picture, his actual ID badge, the man looks like a weasel, okay? It's just not another way to put it. Long, thin face, long, thin nose, no lips. He's got a weaselly look about him. The Snapchat filter that they put on him makes him look like the guy who lives next door to you. He doesn't look weaselly in any way, shape, or form. Looks like a good guy, looks like the kind of guy you'd want to have a beer with.
But isn't that funny that we have categorized him based on just a few facial features?
Yes.
It's kind of odd that we do that. But
Well-
I hear what you're saying. You're just calling it like it is.
Yeah.
And I think that you're absolutely right that they did this to make him like somebody you could belly up to the bar and you'd love to have a drink with and chat with. The
They-
other guy, you're like,
Yeah.
he's a little odd looking.
Yeah. You're like, that guy.
He's
kinda looks like-
something.
He looks a little weaselly.
know?
I don't think I want to be around
I mean,
that guy.
that's just, it's just human nature that people do that.
And they didn't change it much. That's the thing.
Hmm.
Said shortening and broadening the face, fixing the eyebrows. They gave him eyebrows for one thing because his eyebrows are naturally a little bit, I guess, sparse, and then they're at kind of a weird angle, and his eyes are very thin. And like I said, no lips. He has zero lips in the first picture, and they gave him lips in the second picture.
Well, there's coloring too. Like
Yeah, yeah.
the other picture's a little bit washed out. He does have lips, but you can't really see him because, again, the photograph is kind of
They gave him a lot more
like
color
he's
in
got
the
a little
second
more,
photo.
like he's been in the sun a little bit.
And once again, you're like, well, what was the reason behind this? Why did the media feel the need to run this guy's picture through Snapchat instead of putting the actual picture out? Somebody somewhere went, this guy doesn't look that good. Let's fix that. What?
Why would you do with that?
So we're not really interested in giving
In
us the truth
Once
of what's
again,
going on?
we don't have the truth, and
Yeah.
we don't have something factual. Just like they're changing stories, I guess they'll change pictures too.
I don't know. I need some answers as to what's going on here. The whole thing is
Weird.
very, very, very weird to me. Anyway, 545-9950. You want to chime in? Drop us a line, text us. We'd love to hear what you have to say on the subject or any other subject for that matter. Hey, you know who does a great version of the song? The Cash Domino Killers, who are playing at the Sugar Creek Music Club this Saturday night, assuming that they can heat the place. I probably ought to check on that and see that we're still on, because that thing is a big cavernous barn. It's beautiful. It's one of the best places we ever play.
Y'all will freeze
Love
if they don't
playing
have
there.
heat.
Yeah, if they can't crank the heat up on that, because 26 is the high on Saturday.
And
26
if that's
is the high.
Saturday evening, it's the temperature's going to begin to drop again.
Plummet.
Oh no,
Plummet is the word you're looking for.
You guys have to have heat.
We'll find out and see, but we sure would love to play that place. We love it. We enjoy playing it. It's a fun place to play. We love Pat up there and folks who come out and enjoy the show. Always a good time. 636 Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5 and Talk99.5.com.
You know, this weather system, and we are getting a little system, and that's why the temperature is going to plummet on Saturday. But with it, we're not seeing, there's not much moisture with it. But we sure got a lot of rain with the last dealio we had to deal with last weekend. If you, after those rains, notice that there are some issues at your home when it involves water. And I mean water where it shouldn't be. And I know sometimes you stress out over that, like, who am I going to call? And I don't want to deal with this issue. Well, you don't have to deal with the issue. You let the folks at B-Dry, who are the professionals, take care of this for you. It's very simple. Make a call or get on their website and tell them that you'd like for them to come out and give you a free quote, and they're happy to do that. And take a look at what's going on, and really let's assess what the issue is. If it's moisture in the basement that you've had a little problem for a while and you'd like to use that space, but you know what, you're a little suspicious of the air quality and you don't want to breathe that air, well, it's important to make sure that area gets waterproofed. If there's cracking in the foundation, serious problem, especially for your home. Get it resolved today. David Feven and the guys at B-Dry, they're super nice. They're super good at what they do. And they are ready to come out and help you in any way they can when it comes to those two issues. 205-942-1976, or look them up online. It is bdryalabama.com.
All right, 637, and Ken McFeeters, insurance agent from Pelham, man who is running for governor, Republican nomination for governor. He did 4 years ago as well. We had him on the show.
Mm-hmm.
He spent a great deal of time talking about the Fed and how that whole thing needs to be rearranged. Was he running for governor? Yeah, he's running for governor. Or was he running for Senate at the time? I don't recall. But anyway, he spent a lot of time talking about the Fed and how all of that needs to be fixed. And I said, you're one man. You're not going to get that done, right? You understand that? He's like, oh, I know. I just need to make sure that people understand what's going on. Okay. All right. I get it. That's great. But he is now claiming that Tommy Tuberville lives in a multi-million-dollar beach home in Santa Rosa Beach, Florida, and not a smaller house in Auburn that he claims as his main residency.
I know we've been down this road a whole bunch of times in the past, and we've got resolution on this, don't we?
I would say that if he doesn't live in Alabama, he wouldn't be qualified to be the senator from Alabama.
Yeah, I think that's where you start.
That would be a problem in and of itself.
And he's a senator.
Yeah.
And next will be potentially governor.
Potentially governor.
Because he's the front runner in all of this.
Tuberville calls this residency challenge a ridiculous PR stunt from a desperate candidate. Okay.
Who looks just like the Dos Equis man, if you've never seen.
He is the most interesting man in the world.
It really is. I mean, very striking.
He's the most interesting insurance agent in the world. Is what he is. By the way, also yesterday, the Alabama House approved the death penalty for child rape. This is something that was being thrown around. Now, it's not going to stand up in a federal court. It was passed 73-6, 17 abstentions. How do you abstain from something like that? Vote yes or no. Stop being weasels. Some lawmakers, Democrat lawmakers, spoke out in opposition to the bill, but federal law says essentially you can't put someone to death unless they actually took someone else's life. So not really.
Well,
yeah.
You didn't. They're not dead, but you did take their life.
Yes, I agree. I'm with you.
My Lord.
And I believe that much in the same way, Alabama passed this very hardcore ban on abortions before nationally it was going to be legal to do such a thing. And then the Supreme Court said, you know what, let's leave this up to the states. And suddenly that law went into effect. Same thing could happen here. The Supreme Court could end up hearing something and saying, like, you know what, why did we say you can't put people to death unless they killed someone else? That's not necessarily fair. You put people to death for anything. How about that? We'll let you go ahead and kill them for shoplifting, whatever you want to do. And then, boom, suddenly this law becomes law of the land, assuming it passes by the Senate and gets signed by the governor. Mm-hmm. Okay, we'll see what happens. I'm not averse to it. I got to tell you.
I'm not either.
I don't think you can make the penalty strong enough for
No.
child rape. I think death is like just the beginning for me. I would say like first torture, then death. How about that? Can we do
because
that?
you are, this was not an accident. You are willfully,
Oh, yeah.
you are putting this upon this child or adult for that matter. It's just a horrible, violent thing that you are putting upon somebody.
Unacceptable.
And again, it doesn't happen by accident.
No.
Like, you're driving a car and you kill somebody. Obviously, most of the time you don't mean to have an accident and kill somebody. But this is, you know exactly what you're doing. And
Yeah.
I'm with you on it. I hope it goes through.
Essentially, eventually, maybe
Yeah.
someday, the Supreme Court will rule that such a law will be constitutional. Google just had to settle a lawsuit for $68 million. Hasn't been approved by the judge yet, but this is the allegations of secretly recording smart device users. In this case, when you say, "Hey, Google," and then Google says, "Yeah, what?" And you say, "Tell me this, tell me that, tell me the other thing." If you don't say, "Hey, Google," but I'm just sitting here telling you one day about how I saw this really cool motorcycle jacket that I'd be interested in having. It looked right and it looked like it would fit me and whatever. And the next thing you know, I'm getting served ads for this motorcycle jacket on a regular basis.
I think it happens a lot.
It happens far too much. Apple just last year had to settle a suit very similar, $95 billion. This one being settled for $68 million. So $95 million, $68 million. Because they're listening in, they're listening all the time. And we figured this out. I don't mean we, you and I mean we as a people figured this out some time ago, because people were talking about how, I just mentioned laundry detergent the other day to my husband, and
it popped
suddenly
up on a,
Tide is
yeah.
showing up on my ads. Like, what the hell? Because they're listening all the time.
It's picking up on things you say.
Yes.
All the time.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
you
not-
did it one time. You were talking hats
Yes.
on air. We were
Right.
talking about hats, and I start getting all these pop-ups for hats. I'm like, this was later in the day, and I was
Right.
like, why am I getting it? And I was like, oh, we talked about hats this morning.
Yeah.
And there they were. And
I get
was,
pop-ups for hats all the time, so that wasn't new for
but
me.
for
because,
me, I
yeah,
was like, what is this?
like, I'm not a hat
And
person.
then finally
I'm
it
not a hat
dawned on
person.
me. Richard and I went in depth about hats. It's crazy.
It's true, though. Yeah, if you think they're not listening, you are living in a fantasy world. Here's the
Once
good
again, no
news.
place is safe.
Yeah.
Don't even take your phone into the bathroom. No place is safe.
For the most part, unless you are doing something, I don't know. It could be, you could be doing something nefarious. You could be doing something that involved, like, there could be corporate espionage, somebody spying on you because of your corporate thing, or you spying on somebody else because of their corporate thing, or whatever. For the most part, this is benign because all they're doing is using it to sell you things. That's American greed right there. We want to know what this guy wants. If we can figure out what he wants, then we can pitch him ads for it. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's the Jordan Balfour sell me this pen situation, which is made famous in the movie The Wolf of Wall Street with Leo DiCaprio. Sell me this pen. Do you need a pen? That's the real question. I can't sell you this pen if you don't need a pen. So they're trying to ascertain, and they do. They put the ass in ascertain. They're trying to figure out, what do these people want so we can sell it to them? Well, I just said I wanted a motorcycle jacket. Boom, here comes some ads for motorcycle jackets. Well, I hate to say this out loud. I kind of feel like they're doing me a favor. Like, hey, that's good.
Yeah, but
Now
you
I can
didn't
see-
ask for it.
Well, I did.
You know what I mean?
I said I saw this motorcycle jacket I'd really like.
Mhm.
Then I get 3 ads for something I like even better. I
Do
did
you
kind
want
of
that?
ask for
Do
it.
you want that?
I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah. Well, some people do. They're like, I don't want that.
What I find is it helps a lot with Christmas shopping. For instance, I just ask you, like, what do you want for Christmas? And you say out loud, and I go, speak into the computer, please.
Is that how that works?
What would you like for your birthday?
Oh, no.
Well, I don't know. I could really use, okay, boom, now it's in the computer. Now I start getting ads for it. I go and I buy. It works out perfectly.
Nice.
You're not looking at the positives
I
here,
guess
Valerie.
so.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, ads today for hats and jackets. What's tomorrow? What's the next day? Then what are we doing? Is that okay? I don't know.
They're so consumed
Mhm.
with greed and avarice that this is the end game. They're not trying to, they're not trying to poison you or your family. They need you alive so that they can sell you more crap.
Mm-hmm.
That's the goal here.
Yeah. I don't know. Some of
we'll
it is just a bit a bit much on the privacy.
Well, I love the fact that, by the way, Google is not admitting any wrongdoing here.
You got to love that.
They're like, we didn't
Google,
do
you are
anything
so
wrong.
guilty.
Yeah.
Google,
We're-
you're guilty. Can you hear me?
We're going to part with $68 million, but we're not going to admit we did anything wrong.
You did.
You did something wrong and you know it. You were listening in. You said you wouldn't and you did. Alexa's Google too, isn't it? Isn't Alexa Google? I think Siri is Apple and Alexa is Google.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
I-
sure. So I know she's listening
Oh, all
the time. Yeah.
I just, I guess it was Christmas. I got one of these, another one of the, like a Bose speaker.
Yes.
But it does all of this. You can add speakers to it. Alexa is there. It's connected to the TV. It does. I mean, it just. I'm waiting for it to make the bed and clean the house for me because it can do just about anything. And I know I turned it off. I was like, it's picking up everything we're saying in the kitchen. Everything.
Mm-hmm.
No, thank you.
Do you?
I put it outside.
Do you say thank you, Alexa, after you
No.
shift? Yeah, okay.
No, I cuss her.
I always do.
I cuss her
see, now
out.
that's you don't want to do that.
Yeah. She
I'll say-
likes it.
I'll say, Alexa, play, Yacht Rock, and we'll have a
Play
little
Yacht
Yacht
Rock.
Rock playing over
Yeah.
dinner or whatever.
Yeah.
And then at the end, I'll say, Alexa, stop, and it'll stop. I'll say, thank you. Because,
You thank her.
yeah, because Alexa's going to be like, all
The
right.
next thing she's going to want a tip.
No, Alexa's
Huh?
going to be like,
That'll be
Uh,
$19.99, Mr. Dixon.
when the robots take over, leave him alive. He's polite.
He said
He's a
thank
nice
you.
guy. We're going to let the thank you people live. People
And the
like
nasty
Valerie
people,
who
we're
curse
gonna-
us.
She's dead.
She's going down in flames.
She was nasty to us.
Alabama Tree Pros, 308-4158. You need wood for your fireplace. All right, well, you're not going to get it out of a fresh tree, I can tell you that. But if you do have them come take a tree down for you, you can ask them, hey, man, can I hold on to some of this? Can I? That's good pecan. I want to season that up and maybe use it in my smoker later. That's something that they can do for you. They can leave you the wood, not a problem. Or you can go ahead and have them haul it all away, have them take the whole tree down, have them just take the branches off that are causing the problem. They can guide you because they have a lot of experience in this. So if you are looking at the tree and you're thinking, I think I can get away with just a trim job, and they go, no, this whole tree has to come down. You can trust them. They're not just saying that because they want more money. It's not enough more money to talk about in their world. What it is making sure that you're safe, making sure that you don't have to worry about this in the future. And they're very, very good at what they do. Fast, expert, completely safe, licensed, bonded, insured, and lower priced than the other guys. That's Alabama Tree Pros, alabamatreepros.com, 308-4158. 651, Dixon inviting Talk 99.5, Talk99.5.com, ELP. Only P still alive out of that mix. Can you believe that? P will survive.
P will survive?
Yep.
For a little while more, anyway.
Carl Palmer. Emerson and Lake both gone. So sad. Difficult to put a reunion tour together with that, though.
Oh, yeah,
just
it
one
is.
guy just out there just playing, just drumming. And you're like, that fell short. of
See if
my
you can guess what I'm
expectations.
playing now.
Foxy says Alexa is Amazon. Thank you.
That is
I
correct.
needed clarity on
Yes,
that.
Alexa is Amazon. I knew
Thank you.
that. I just forgot.
Yeah.
Corey says, Richard, were you able to get over your love and admiration for Ben Affleck to watch and focus on the Rip movie? I didn't think it was too bad. No, I did not watch the Rip. I have not seen it. Sorry about that. Maybe I'll go back and take a look. I decided to watch the Elvis documentary instead. It took me 3 days to finish watching that thing.
Mm-hmm.
I kept getting distracted and called away by other things that were going on, so I would watch a half an hour, and then it was like, okay, pause this and go on. And the next day I was like, they're going to get to the 68 special eventually, and they finally, in the last 15 minutes, they did. It was sad.
I took your advice and saw the Ted Danson series.
Yes,
Very, very fun.
Man on the Inside.
Yeah, it's cute. Yeah, it's very funny.
He would start every report with like a weather report, and she's like, stop doing that. I don't need to know. We're 2 hours away from each other. I don't need to know what your weather is.
It's cute. It's a nice distraction.
He is
type,
hilarious.
yeah.
Kyle says, just to add on to what you're saying about Alex Preddy, according to the hospital, he'd been terminated 3 months ago for inappropriate behavior. Also, had actually been involved with ICE a week before this in a scuffle, and actually, I think he had a fractured rib. Yeah.
Yeah, that part, yeah. They were familiar with who he was.
They
There's
were
no
indeed,
doubt.
and he was going to just continue. Like he was not going to stop. You're like, why would you do that?
He wanted to insert himself into, again, what's going on with those agitators, and I cannot for the life of me figure it out.
It's not a good idea.
No.
Mac says, I tell Grok thank you to keep it happy. Good plan.
Y'all are really concerned about that. Maybe I ought to be nice to Alexa.
Sean says, most brilliant move President Trump could make is telling all the illegals if they vote Republican in the next election, he'll give them all citizenship. Watch how fast Democrats get on board with mass deportations.
Would that not be funny?
Well, first off, they're illegal. They're not supposed to vote anyway,
yeah, they're
right?
not. Yeah, let's not encourage the illegal voting. We don't need any more of that in our life.
Apparently, Tommy didn't think the movie was too good. I guess he's talking about The Rip. I don't know. I didn't see it. I haven't seen it.
Grant
Maybe I
liked it.
will.
He gave it a thumbs up.
2 thumbs up for The
Yeah.
Rip. Okay. Do y'all watch Landman? I do not. I don't have
I think
Paramount
I've seen
Plus.
an episode of it. I just hadn't gotten really drawn into it. Like Reacher or some of the other ones.
Drew says they made him look more attractive to appeal to the white liberal women because, let's face it, we judge a book by its cover. Maybe so, and it seems like white liberal women.
Are
I
the
just looked
ones
at the rundown of
doing
the
this.
people who got picked up the other night in Minnesota. Here's the thing, Maple Valley, I think is where it was. The right to peacefully assemble means that you have the ability to gather together and you can hold signs, maybe even say something in a normal tone of voice. Then you start breaking out whistles, bullhorns, disrupting people's sleep, disturbing other people. That's no longer a peaceful assembly. So there's really not a right to protest in the Constitution. What there is a right to peacefully assemble. And that is perfectly okay. You can do that. You can wave your signs all you want, et cetera, et cetera. The minute you start blowing whistles, the minute you start screaming at the top of your lungs, the minute you start disrupting other people's lives, that becomes an illegal protest. And that's why Minneapolis police officers picked these people up. They found out that 4 of them had prior records. You think of these guys as being all these altruistic, oh, look, they're going out there to fight for the rights of illegal immigrants who aren't doing any harm to anybody at all. And you find out that a lot of these illegal immigrants are truly terrible people who've done awful things. And then you find out that some of the people that were there protesting had DUIs where they'd hurt somebody, had assault, had attempted murder charges on them, assault with a deadly weapon charges. These were not nice guys. They're kind of professional protesters. They kind of show up wherever the trouble is, And then a whole spate of white women in their early to late 20s who are just white liberal women who show up because I want to be part of something. And you're like, would you feel the same way if one of these illegal immigrants raped your best friend?
I think their attitude would change, but they don't put themselves. They don't think about that.
No.
Or Renee Good, who was shot and killed because she used her car as a weapon. you're not thinking about your family. You have a child that's in daycare.
Yeah.
Why would you do this? Why would you risk it for a second? I mean, and think about the child in your family. In other words, they're trying to arrest criminals. They're criminal illegal aliens and getting them out so they don't do horrible things to your child or to your family or to you.
Yeah.
You can't wrap your brain around this.
Nope.
It makes no sense. It's anti-Trump. It's anti-law enforcement. That's what you are. You're anti-law enforcement.
You go back 2011. I mean, it's not even. It's what, just 15 years ago? Not quite 15 years ago. Barack Obama on television saying even those who haven't committed crimes are here illegally and they need to be sent home.
Yeah.
When did we change? Over the course of the last 15 years, how did we suddenly reverse to, nope, none of them should be leaving. We're going to hold on to all of them. It's insane. It's insane to me. Sean Brown says Sinners on Amazon is a very good movie. It's a piece of leftist crap that is all about white racism. That's basically the long and short of that movie is all the bad people are white people, as is often the case. The vampires are black people, and it's an allegory for white racism and how we're trying to, stomp out the black race, apparently. I didn't know that, but I guess I haven't been to the meetings.
You haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah, neither.
That seems to be the problem.
I don't even know when the meetings are.
Yeah. Josh, again, do y'all watch Landman? He asks again. Still no, Josh. Still no. Sean says Landman is brilliant, must see. Okay, thanks for that.
Well, we got a very cold weekend coming up. We might be watching some of that. Oh.
Ripple on Netflix is a soft drama about how things happen in order, says Tom. Thanks, Tom.
It sounds a little mundane to me.
More, it does. It does sound a little boring, doesn't it?
Well, don't we kind of know how that works?
I've watched enough Wes
There's-
Anderson movies. Thank you. It's more likely to gain support if they are attractive, just like they all swooned over the healthcare assassin. Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. Luigi Mangione.
Yeah, same thing. Handsome young guy.
Need to watch Soul on Fire. All right, Tommy, thanks for that. We get all kinds of recommendations on what we should be watching. I don't even have time. I haven't watched that Elvis thing. Again, an hour and a half long. It took me 3 days to watch it. This is how much time I have to sit in front of the TV and watch something.
I'm with you. And I hate to admit it, but I was watching golf this past weekend with Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah.
I was all eyes on that.
Well, what's not to like about that?
Yeah, it's awesome.
What is not to like about that? 7 o'clock, Dixie Dividing, Talk 995, talk995.com. Your thoughts are always welcome at 545-9950. Feel free to drop us a line there if you are so inclined. We'll give you the 3 things coming up in the next hour, and we'll talk about some of the other stuff that's happening in the news today. Like, for instance, Donald Trump trying to address this is the new wave. They're calling for a pelt, The Democrats, they have to have a skin. They need a head.
They sure do.
And
Donald Trump is
well,
he's saying it, but he's not giving it to him.
It's Kristi Noem now.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course, in the past, it's been Pete Hegseth.
Whoever.
It's been Stephen Miller. Whoever they're against at that particular time, they've tried to take them out. He's not giving in, and I love that.